Alright guys, I hope you guys are doing great. I wanted to make this short video to discuss about the latest Express entry draw, that is draw number 239, which happened on February 1st. So before I go ahead and explain to you about what happened in this particular draw, let me go ahead and give you a brief about what's been happening with the Express entry draws. So we all know about this COVID thing that happened a couple of years back, so 2020, 2022. So for a very good time, a good 18 months, the Express entry draw, the all program draws were actually paused. And we didn't have an all program draw till July last year. So I think the all program draws resumed in the month of July last year. And by the time when the all program draws actually resumed, the CRS cutoff score was really high. It was around the 550s, 555, 557, I believe. That was the draw score when the Express entry or the all program draws actually resumed. And from there, IRCC was regularly conducting the all program draws, and because of that particular reason, they started off with very less number of invitations, and every draw they started increasing the number of invitations. Thereby, the score had come down to a level 491 by November 2022 last year. So the score from 557, it had come down to 491. So all the people who were with the scores of 480s, they were really excited, because if everything was going according to the plan, then by December, January, the score was supposed to come down to the 480s and then to the 470s, right? But that is when this technical glitch actually happened, because IRCC was actually, they were shifting to the tier system from the knock code, from the 4-digit to the 5-digit tier system. And because of that particular reason, IRCC had to pause 3 draws, which were supposed to happen. 2 draws in December, and the first week of January there was supposed to be a draw, but that again never happened. Because of this particular pause, the cutoff score again increased to above 500. I think second week of January, third week of January this year, we saw the cutoff scores going to 507, which was again very disappointing to all those people. But naturally, when the draws don't happen, obviously the CRS score, the cutoff score is naturally going to increase, right? So pretty obvious stuff. So 507, and we were again thinking, what are we going to do and how things are going to pan out. And that's when IRCC surprised all of us with a back-to-back draw. So I think January 11th, 12th, there was a draw and the score was around 5, if not 7. And the very next Wednesday, again, they conducted another draw. Thereby, this cutoff score actually came down from 507 to 490. So 490 is a very special score, because the score had come down to 490 after a very, very long time. I think it's been at least a couple of years since the score had actually come down to 490. So all of the aspirants were really happy. There were some of my clients around this 480 region. They were also equally excited, waiting for the draws to happen and for the cutoff score to come down. And when we were actually expecting all these things to happen, and for a draw to happen and the cutoff score to come down to 486 or 487, and February 1st they conduct a draw, and this looks like it's a PNP only draw. And let me just take a look at this particular thing. The number of invitations issued is 893, and the CRS cutoff score is 733, right? And if you take a look at the pool distribution, it's on February 1, 2023, and 937 people are above the score 600, right? So when you take a look at this particular thing, the number of invitations issued is 893, right? Which means 50-60 people who are having a score, having a PNP nomination, even they never received an ITA. So I really don't know what's going on with IRCC. So literally we have no clue, no idea what's the system IRCC is following. We don't know why they paused it. They call it a technical glitch. They resume the draw. They conduct a back-to-back draw. And when everything seems to be in control and when everything seems to go right, at that particular moment, IRCC decides to conduct a PNP only draw. So this is a big, this is a news that's bringing the morals down of all the Canadian PR aspirants. I really don't know what's actually happening with IRCC. No clue, no idea whatsoever. Even in the last draw, when IRCC conducted, the cutoff score came down to 490. There were a lot of technical issues. People who are having the score of 490, who actually cleared the tie-breaking route, they haven't received the invitations. Even in the last draw, if you noticed, initially there was a technical glitch. The CRS score was at 507 with 5,500 invitations. Then they changed it to 490. And still, if you total it up, the number of invitations issued, the numbers didn't really match. So there are a lot of technical glitches, and I really wonder why these things keep happening with IRCC. The biggest letdown personally for me is the lack of communication from IRCC, right? So it's correct that IRCC doesn't have to come and address each and every one of us, but as a client, as a Canadian PR aspirant, we are putting our lives on the line, right? So a lot of decisions are at stake. People have invested a lot of time, money, energy, and effort. IELTS scores are expiring. People who are studied in Canada, their work permits are expiring. And when IRCC is not communicating to us what they are going to do with these draws or how they are going to go about these things, then we are in a no man's land, right? So this is something that I personally feel IRCC should take up the responsibility, and they should come up with some kind of information to let us know what's their plan, right? Because otherwise people are still going to try to get into this thing, and people are losing hope right now. So I personally feel that they should take up the responsibility, but again, you and I, we don't decide on anything, right? So the main reason why I'm actually making this video is to let you know, guys, I really wish that this draw is again a technical glitch, right? So basically IRCC has to conduct a PNP draw at least every 15 days once. They cannot give a break to the PNP draws because the federal has signed up with the provincial government that the draws will happen. So they cannot skip a draw. I really wish that this was that kind of a draw, and there was a technical. I wish it is actually a technical glitch, and maybe this week or probably by next week or next week Wednesday, right? Sometime next week or at least the next draw will be an all program draw, right? So when the all program draw happens next time, definitely the scores are not going to come below 490. Obviously, it's going to be above 490 for sure. But sooner the draw resumes, the lesser the gap would be. So if we are having a draw by this week or by next week, then the score will not go above 500. But if the gap between draws is going to increase, then again the scores can actually go above 500, right? So at this point in time, we still don't have any clarity. We don't have an idea. All I can tell you is, don't lose hope. I've not lost hope, because the same IRCC who has done this, they have also done a draw where they invited 27,000 odd Canadian experienced class people, and they have brought down the CRS score to 75. So they can do that as well, right? So I'm not losing hope here. I'm just here to tell you guys not to give up on this thing, right? So we'll wait, we'll see what's actually happening. We'll try to understand, we'll be able to figure it out maybe in the next couple of weeks, and from there let's take a decision, right? So that's pretty much it which I wanted to share with you, and you guys have a great day. Bye bye.